Hi YouTube, this is my first ever video that I've ever uploaded. Just want to show you a Mk1 TT that I picked up for a bargain of 700 quid, but it needs a shed load of work. So it's running the 1.8 turbo BAM engine, 225 brake, but as you can see it is rough. Every single little detail on the car is absolutely disgusting. This car has been fully neglected and it is my task to make it an absolute gem. Whether I sell it, modify it, strip it, I don't know, but I'm gonna try. It's on 107,000 miles. It's been heavily smoked in. I think it's even been lived in. But it comes with full service history and full 4-bolt tires. Nice. So before I start any mechanical work on this car, one thing I got to address is how filthy the engine bay is. I don't particularly want to get absolutely covered in crap while doing it, so I got my trusty snow foam gun and it's time to give it a clean. So I've just went over the engine bay with some snow foam, and just to get all the surface dirt off. It still needs a lot of work to get all the stuck oil off. I've noticed the exhaust is blowing, probably needs some service. Wouldn't surprise me if it needs a clutch. It just, yeah. But I'm gonna go over the rest of the car just to get, like I say, just the surface dirt off before it goes for a full detail and inspection. And as you can see, these wheels are absolutely filthy, all curved. These new tires, one of them needs a new hubcap, but it's all part of the fun. So I've just went over the car, give it just a quick clean to get all the surface dust off, give it a little bit of a closer inspection of any damage. These wheels need a full refurb, 4 new tires, a new hubcap. There's a ding in this right wing here, but once it's fully cleaned I'll see if I'm going to get around to doing that along with that. But I've noticed that this is 2 different shades of colour, which is a bit bizarre, and the other side is the same, so I'm not sure what to do about that. This wheel is absolutely gone. Again, bold tyre, well, not fully bold, but pretty much bold. Other than that, it's quite a clean car for 21 years old. So it's actually starting to rain now, sadly, so I'm not gonna continue. But the seats do need to come out. They do need a full clean, and a very good clean, in fact. And these carpets, they need to be nuked. They're gonna need a lot of attention. So while the seats are out, I can get on with that and give the interior a detail just to make it feel like I'm not gonna get sick, you know. I got to try and figure out what to do with this button here, which is actually sunk into the dash. And yeah, so I'm not sure how I get in there. Maybe take the head unit out and go up through there. It's pretty rough, you know, but I got it cheap, I think, I hope, you know, so let the project begin. I'm actually going to start tackling cleaning the interior. I've got to take the seats out, give it a good hoover, give everything a good disinfectant, clean everything down, and wash the carpets. So yeah, I'm gonna try and set up my GoPro to time lapse and just get everything done. So I've went ahead and removed the seats from the TT. I'll show you just the inside. This is what I got to deal with. I've really got my work cut out with this one, but it'd be a good project to see nice and clean when it's all finished. So yeah, I'm going to grab a bin bag and just start scooping everything up before I get the trusty hoover on it. So after giving the carpets a good hoover, you can notice there's some dirt and some grime embedded into the carpet, so we need a good scrub and a wet vac. I will get around to that probably today in this video. However, first I'm just going to tackle the awful, disgusting dashboard, give it a good scrub, just to get everything clean and tidy before mechanical work starts. I'm probably doing it backwards, but I want it to just be as clean as possible really on the inside, so there's one less worry. And I will probably try and tackle these at some point as well. So yeah, so I've just given it a quick clean on the interior, and as you can see, everything's looking much cleaner now, which I'm quite surprised with. It's not 100%, but it is a hell of a lot better than it was. I've still got to clean the carpets, give it a good scrub, but yeah, as you can see, it's just a better base for me to work from. And the state of the cloths just says how long ago this was cleaned, you know. So yeah, time to clean the carpets, clean the seats, and fit everything back in. So I finally got around to putting the interior back in after giving the seats and everything just a quick once over. But there is a massive improvement overall over the whole car. So I think that's as far as I'm going to go on the interior, other than, again, these buttons. I think the window regulator might be on his way out on the driver's door, but we'll see. I'll see if I can take the door card off and try and repair. But yeah, overall I'm quite impressed with how the dashboard and the seats have cleaned up. I need to put some leather care on it, but for now I've just cleaned them up with some Auto Glim leather cleaner, and the difference is massive already. They're just a bit shiny. I need to make them matte and condition them a little bit just to soften them up. So yeah, I'm half tempted just to take it to the garage and get some new tyres fitted temporarily, just so I can get the car through an MOT, and I can then take it to the workshop and continue with mechanical work. So I went ahead and finally managed to fix the buttons that have pressed into the dashboard. I had to just pop out the head unit with just 2 little pins at the bottom, pull it out, disconnect it, and just up there there's a little flap that you pull down, and the reason why the button's pushed in is because there's just a little clip that spreads all the way across, and it just needs pushing up to ensure that it's all clipped in nice and tight. So yeah, that's another great success on the car. I just got a couple of lights that I need to figure out. I'm hoping that the airbag light is since I've took off the seat. The engine management light, it could be anything, so I'll get the laptop out, give it a scan, and hopefully figure out what's wrong. But other than that, I am really impressed with how the interior is cleaned up. It's not 100%, but it's 100 times better than it was. So today I'm going to be showing you how I go about tackling the foggy headlights. So I'm just going to show you a quick demonstration on making them look nice and clear, just like my BMW. So yeah, I'm not a professional by any means, but I'm just the average guy, just trying to share some little knowledge that I have. I've given this headlight, it's a bit wet because of the rain, but I've given this headlight a quick once over with just some clay bar and cutting compound, and it's not really touched it. You can still feel it's a bit rough, but this one's definitely the worst one, so we'll start with this one and hopefully I can have it looking crystal clear. So all I'm going to be using today is just a few microfiber cloths for wiping away any of the excess dirt and grime, so they don't have to be perfectly clean. I got a spray bottle filled with just some car shampoo and some water. I have a cutting compound for when I get the machine polisher out afterwards. Some PTFE glaze, which I've never used before, is from a company called Detailed Online. I've used quite a few of their products and it seems quite good for the price, but it says that it gives, if it'll focus, it says it gives it a 6-month or 3-month protection. Yeah, 3-month protection, so that should be good. We'll see what that's like. And I also have some 1500 grit sandpaper, some 2000 grit, and I might need to go over it with some 2500 afterwards, just before I get the machine polisher and polish them up. So yeah, I'm gonna tape up the headlight and I'll be back shortly. So as you can see, I've went ahead and taped up all the surface surrounding the lights. This is just in case when you're sanding or when you get the machine polisher, it doesn't scratch or burn through any of the paint. So I'm just gonna first of all go ahead with 1500 grit with some soapy water, and you want to go do like a crisscross motion, so you go up and down, then side to side, and then proceed up to the 2000, then the 2500 grit, and then go ahead and machine polish it. So you want to make sure that your sandpaper and your headlight is wet at all times. So just completely cover it with water and soapy water. The soap just helps with lubrication. So yeah, you just want to do nice straight lines, just up and down. And as you can see, a lot of the soapy water is actually starting to go dirty, where all the contamination is coming out of the plastic. So yeah, once I've done this, I'll come back and we'll go through the next step. So I probably picked a bit of a bad day to do this because of the rain, but I've just went over it with the 1500 grit sandpaper. I'll just give it a little spray and a wipe just to show you the difference. Oh, the rain's really coming down now. And as you can see, it is a lot cloudier. So as I go over it with the 2000 and then the machine polisher, it will actually reveal a crystal clear panel. So I'll probably wait for this little bit of rain to blow over and come back shortly. So the rain's died down just a little bit, but as you can see now the panel's actually dry. It's actually gone really cloudy. So I'll go ahead and use the 2000 grit, do the same process, just up and down, side to side, just cross hatch all the little fine scratches that your sandpaper is causing. Try not to miss anything, and yeah. So as I said before, you just want to fold up your masking tape, fold up your sandpaper, and make sure it's really wet. Make sure the panel is really wet. Just side to side, keeping straight lines. Always keeping nice and straight lines. Not that it matters too much, but my masking tape is starting to peel off because of the water. But I'll wipe it dry and just go ahead and reapply some more. So just make sure you go all over it. Plenty of lubrication. It's not ideal doing it while it's raining, but what can you do when you've not got a garage, you know? Just trying to show everyone real world problems. I haven't got a fancy studio, I'm just doing it from my driveway. So yeah, I'll go ahead, wipe that surface, give it a clean, and see what it's looking like all dry. So I'm actually taking cover in my shed now, so this is why you don't believe what Apple has to say with the weather. It was meant to have stopped around about now, but it looks like it's getting worse, so I may have to come back tomorrow and finish it off. But yeah, as you can see, it's gone really cloudy now, and when it's dry it does look even worse. So yeah, depending on the weather, I may have to come back tomorrow and give it a machine polish. So the rain has finally decided to stop. I'm going to show you now how I would machine polish this panel. I've only got a big old bulky Draper polisher is not the best, but up until I can afford to buy a nice fancy one, I'll continue with this. I only use it for, well, to be fair, I've only used it once before, and that was just to machine polish the side of a van that had a bit of a scratch going down the side. I just bought it second hand off Facebook Marketplace. It's just big and bulky. I did put a new pad on it, which I bought from Machine Mart for like £5, so it's probably not great. So I'm going to start by just give it a couple of coats of water. It just primes the pad. And with my cutting compound, give it a quick shake. Just put a few blobs, little smiley face, on the pad, and then you just dab it all around. I have actually took off the tape because of the rain was getting to it, but it should be fine with this soft pad anyway. You might hear a bit of noise from the passing traffic, but as I said, it's a real world video, so I'm going to start off on a slow speed. And you just want to go side to side, up and down. Oh, not sure what happened then with the focus, but I've given it a quick polish up. I'm just going to give it a wipe off the excess compound with just a slightly damp cloth just to help wipe it off. And that already feels so much cleaner. I'm gonna go ahead and go over it one more time with the polisher, just to anything that I've missed or go over any other perfections, but I'm actually quite happy with how it's come out. So I will come back and show you the glazing once I've went over it again. So now I've went over the headlight for the second time with the machine polisher. It's actually come up surprisingly nice. I probably could have done a bit of a better time with the sanding, but most part, nearly all the imperfections there's alright of it. There's only a couple of little bits that I can see, but it's a 21-year-old car, so I'm not going to be overly fussy. So now I'm going to use the Detailed Online PTFE hybrid glaze. Just going to give it a little shake, fold the microfiber cloth up so I can apply it with one side and then just polish it off with the other. It says to apply slowly in a side-to-side motion, so I'm just going to put just a blob on there. I don't know if that's too much or not enough. As I said, I've never used this before, so we'll just see how well it spreads out. It just says to slow motion, side to side. I'm not sure how you apply it. but I might just let that sit while I just, yeah, it doesn't even say how long to leave it on there before polishing it off. So I might just go ahead and see what it looks like now. Again, use the other side of the cloth. And already that's left it feeling like glass. So to be fair, that product is actually quite good. I might actually do it again, just give it a second coat, leave it on there for a little bit longer. So again, just a small blob. I'll use a bit less this time because the cloth's already got quite a bit in, so go ahead, do it slowly, side to side, up and down. I suppose you just work it in. So I'll leave that on there for a minute or so, let it dry, try and come up and polish it off, because it doesn't say anything about not letting it dry on the surface. So yeah, I'll be back in a sec. So I've left that now for around a minute just to see if it does anything. So I'll go ahead and buff it off. And already you can see a deep shine in the plastic. I'm not sure if this product's meant to be used on headlights or not, but it's actually, wow, it's left it feeling really smooth. So overall I'm very impressed. So yeah. So I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up too well, but the before and after on this headlight is just night and day. It's absolutely transformed this headlight. As I said, this one was the better one anyway. They're still clear, don't get me wrong, but they're not perfect. And this one here looks 100 times better, and it feels so smooth. The exhaust tips were absolutely disgusting, but I managed to do this in about 10 minutes. It's not that hard, so I hope it helps some people out on how to make their exhaust look a bit better. So first of all, I just got some diluted wheel cleaner. I'm just going to absolutely soak the exhaust. Just let that sit for a few seconds. I've got a bucket of soapy water. Just some car shampoo is absolutely fine. And what you want to do is just get an old wheel brush. As you can see, this one's knackered now. And just make sure you clean absolutely everything out. And you can see all the carbon that's coming out from the inside of the exhaust. Just want to work that in. Just keep cleaning the brush every now and again, just to get as much of the carbon out as possible. As I've said in previous videos, I'm far from a professional, so this is just a quick demonstration on how I do stuff. And now I've got another tyre brush that I'm just going to use just to give it a good scrub. So once you've got all that, just the surface dirt off, go ahead, just get an old microfiber cloth. That's all I use, just to get the excess off. So once you've wiped it all clean, I'm just going to go ahead, get some 1000 grit sandpaper. A lot of people use wire wool, but I'm just going to go up in stages on sandpaper. You just want to go all the way around as much as possible, getting all the final built up carbon and road dirt off. As you can see, it's built up really bad, so I'm just going to dunk it in some water just to clean it off. It's a bit of a messy job, but it pays off in the end. Probably should be wearing gloves, but hey ho. Make sure we go all the way around. Just do the internal lip. So again, you just want to get your old microfiber cloth, just give it a clean down just to see if you've missed any of the black marks. And already you can see it's just completely transformed it. But I will go ahead, use a fresh piece of sandpaper, just 1000 grit again, just to tackle all the last little bits that I've missed. I'm not sure if it's focusing, but as you can see there's very fine scratches all over the exhaust tip. So now you just want to work your way up sandpaper to 1200, then I'm going to do 2000 and then 2500, and then I'll just go in with some polish afterwards, and yeah. So I've went over the whole exhaust tip with sandpaper, ranging from 1000 all the way up to 2500. So it does look 100 times better. I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up very well, but from before and after it's completely transformed it. So now I'm just going to go ahead with a microfiber cloth and just apply some polish to it, just to give it that shine. A bit like this one. And as I said, this only takes, I would say, 10-15 minutes. You just want to work in your polish. There's all different brands of polish out there, but this is just all I had. Just work it in all around the tips. just expect to get loads of black exhaust carbon and dirt build up spraying all over you when doing this, but it's worth it in the end. Bit more polish. So, as you know, I bought this Neglected Audi TT. When I bought it, I noticed there was a really loud blowing in the exhaust. So when I put my hand, when the engine's running, I put my hand down behind the engine and I can feel a blow. So I'm really hoping it's, I don't know, you can't really see down there, but I'm really hoping it's the gasket in between the manifold and the turbo. So today I'm actually going to go ahead and change the gasket. To actually get to the gasket, I believe I'm just going to need to take off the charge pipe, the silicone pipe off the top of the turbo just for access. I'm going to have to take off the strut brace, and just on the manifold there's actually 3 bolts holding the turbo to the manifold. So once I've taken them out, I should be able to just slide in the gasket and put everything back together. So hopefully that goes to plan. I've actually got a second-hand power steering pump as well, because I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but the power steering is really stiff. So I will be attempting it with a second-hand pump that was found just in the garage. So hopefully it works. It doesn't seem seized or anything like that, and I've got a new belt as well, brand new belt. So hopefully in this video I can start preparing the car for an MOT. So as you can see, I've gone ahead, took off the charge pipe and the strut brace just to gain access to these 3 bolts holding the turbo to the manifold. Once I've cracked them, hopefully I can just push down the turbo just a little bit and slide out the gasket. Fingers crossed the manifold isn't split or the flexi on the downpipe's not split. But I'm going to start with the gasket first, as that's where it seems like the air is coming from. So I'll go ahead and do that now. So it's actually been a few days later, nearly a week later now, since I've last touched the Audi TT. Due to my partner having our second child, so I've been very caught up with that. The 3 bolts on the manifold that I went to remove, 2 of them come out perfect. One of them, however, was really seized, and the head of the bolt actually snapped in half, so I couldn't get a good bite on it. I've tried everything, like hitting smaller sockets onto it, trying to turn it, and it just keeps slipping. So I'm waiting for a heads up on when I can get the car towed to my father-in-law's garage so he can weld a nut onto it and take it out that way. So for now, I'm just going to go ahead, take the wheels off, do the brakes, the rear brakes. I'll see if I've got time today to do the front pads. And yeah, it's a bit of a change throughout the video, but hopefully it all goes well. So I've just unbolted the caliper with these two 13mm bolts holding it onto the carrier. As you can see, the difference in the 2 pads is quite a lot, so they are definitely due a change. I'm going to go ahead, wind back in the piston, swap over the disc. I'll probably have to take off the carrier as well. But so no one can tell me that they've ever changed a set of brakes without this little grub screw here rounding off or snapping. So I'm not sure why people do it up so tight. It's literally just to line the holes up, because essentially the wheel nuts hold on the disc as well. So I'm not sure why people decide to go ahead and do that up so tight, where you need to get a drill and drill out the screw. Just like that, the disc is off. Let's see if I need to remove the carrier. Nope. Happy. So another 45 minutes later. These are the discs that I ordered from, where did I get them from? Autodoc. And as you can see, they're just solid discs. The original were vented. So yeah, I think they've just recommended me the wrong part for my registration, and I've only just noticed. So I've just had to shoot off to my local parts dealer, and I've just bought some so-say genuine, or as good as genuine, new discs. So an extra 75 quid later, but I'll see if I can contact Autodoc for a refund. I doubt it, because I've took them all out of the box now and I've got them covered in a bit of crap, but hey ho, they were only cheap anyway, because they had a big sale on, so it was like 30 quid, which kind of makes sense now, because these were 81 quid. So it is what it is. I'll go ahead and get these fitted, and yeah. So that's both sides of the rear brakes done. I just need to do the front pads, which is easy enough. Once the wheel's off, it should just be a couple of bolts, pull the caliper off, put the pads in, off you go, clean everything up. Oh, got a big helicopter over there. Always torque your wheels to spec, because the last thing you need is the wheel overtaking you while you're heading down your motorway. I'm going to be showing you how I will be refurbishing these alloy wheels. They're actually from my Mk1 Audi TT, which I'm rebuilding on the channel. So if you would like and subscribe and go and watch all the other videos, that'd be great. So I'm going to be showing you one of the cheapest ways of being able to do it at home without any special tools like a compressor or spray gun. I'm going to be doing it with an aerosol, and yeah, I'll take you through step by step on how I would go about making these wheels look a lot better. So as you can see, these wheels have got a slight bit of curb rash all the way around. So I'm going to be showing you how I would do it with just a small amount of tools. I've got various grades of wet and dry sandpaper. These are from my air sander, but I might not even use these. I've just got some alloy wheel filler for all the deep blemishes if it needs it. And I'm probably going to get quite a bit of tape for this, but I'm actually using Montana white, so it's graffiti paint. Believe it or not, I sprayed cars, I sprayed wheels and everything with this, and it is great. It's so durable and strong. I've never actually used the gloss one before. It's normally matte or satin. So yeah, let's get cracking. First I'm going to go ahead and clean the wheels, give them a good scrub with, probably get a scouring pad and some warm soapy water just to clean them all off, and just give them a key for the paint to stick. Start by removing that, and yeah, I'm just going to work my way through different grades of sandpaper on the outer lip of the wheel, and hopefully they come out quite nice. So the heavens have opened, but that's not going to stop me. I've sprayed the wheels down, just some wheel cleaner. I actually didn't have any scouring pads left, so I'm just using that old sponge just to agitate all the built on dirt. I'm just going to go around the whole wheel, and yeah, I'll be back shortly when I'm dry and inside. So I'm under some cover from the rain. After giving the wheel a good scrub inside and out, you can see all the blemishes from the curb rash. It's not actually really bad, so I'm just going to go over it with some 600 grit all over the wheel. Pay close attention to the outer lip where it's a bit curved, and see how the wheel feels, because there's not any damage actually inside the face of the wheel, which is lucky really. It's just the outer lip. So yeah, I'll set up the tripod and go over the whole wheel with a 600 grit. So I've went over the whole wheel with 600 grit. I went round this edge here with a 420 just to try and smooth out all these curb rash marks, and then after that I went back over this with a 600. So I've etched all the paint on the wheels. I'm just going to give them a clean with some washing up liquid, because it's actually a good degreaser, and then start masking up and we start painting the wheels. So I've masked up the wheel and the tyre. All I've used is just a rubble bag. I just sliced it up with a knife, and yeah, all it's there to do is just to protect the tyre. I'm going to go ahead, mask up the valve, give it a quick wipe down with some thinners, and yeah, I'm going to start doing the spraying. So the reason why I'm using this paint today is because I'm not actually going to be using any primer on the paint, because it's such a, well, in my opinion, it's a brilliant paint. Yeah, I've never known it to crack or flake or anything on wheels, on cars, on anything that I've sprayed. So I'm not actually going to be using primer. I may be tempted to go over it with a 2K clear with my compressor and spray gun, depending on the finish. But like I said, this is just a budget way of doing it, with no like expensive tools, no compressor, no spray guns. It's just for anyone at home who just wants to make their wheels look a little bit better. For me, this is probably going to be just temporary, whether I sell the car or, you know, I'm not 100% sure on what I'm doing yet. I just want it to look a little bit more appealing to the eye. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead, give it a wipe down with some thinners and start spraying. So I've give it a wipe down with some thinners, just to clean off any excess oils or just anything that could be left behind. I'm just going to go ahead, give the can a good shake for a couple of minutes. I'm actually going to be doing 2 coats of paint. I'll see if it need a third. I may do a third. I've actually got, how many? I think I bought 6 cans, so I've got 1 and a bit per wheel. So I've got plenty of paint, because it does go a really long way. I'm just going to wait for all the rest of the thinners to evaporate off and start spraying. So after giving it a can of good shake for a couple of minutes, you just want to do a light coat all over the wheel, and then let it sit for 10 minutes just to sort of semi-dry off, and yeah, go ahead on the second coat. So I've left the first coat for 10 minutes. I'm just going to go ahead, give the can a little shake and go over with a slightly heavier coat and try and cover the whole wheel. So yeah, that's the second coat. Just gonna wait for it to dry off a bit and I'll be back shortly. As you can see, it's actually looking really shiny, which I'm quite impressed with. So yeah, we'll see how it looks in a second. So it's been about an hour now since I've done the last coat on the paint. I'm actually really happy with the finish. Don't get me wrong, it's not 100%, but like I said, I'm just doing it in my shed with graffiti paint on a budget. So I'm going to go ahead now and peel all of the masking tape off and reveal the finished wheel. So that's the wheel, 100% finished. I might go over it with a bit of compound just to buff up some slight little bits. But yeah, I'm actually really happy with the finish. I've just got 3 more of them to do now, so that'll be fun. Yeah, I'm just going to leave them to dry completely overnight and then I can go ahead and fit them to the car. So I will leave a link in the description for this paint because I'm not sure if anyone's going to use it, but yeah, like I said, it is brilliant. Yeah, hundreds of different colours. This one's the Montana white. If you was to go for the Montana gold and Montana black, the range of colours is incredible. There's hundreds of colours. So yeah. My Audi TT actually failed its MOT. It's only on two things, so it's the headlamp leveling sensor and the steering rack gaiter, which is quite a surprise really. I thought it would have failed on quite a bit more than that. So yeah, I don't think I've actually bought that bad of a car. I've actually got new parts now, so yeah, I'm just gonna crack on and get the parts fitted. So that's actually a bit of a bonus. As I was just about to jack up the car, more car parts have arrived. The reason why my Audi TT failed his MOT, and it's actually on two things. So it's the steering rack gaiter, which I'm hoping is not a dog of a job. I know on some cars it can be, but yeah. And also it's the headlight leveling sensor. So the headlight sensor is just underneath. There's like a snapped arm, and it looks like someone's tried bodging it up with cable ties quite a few years ago. So yeah, that seems to be all it's failed on. So I'm going to go ahead in this video and get that done, and then I can get it re-MOT'd, hopefully with no advisories. So I've taken the wheel off, and as you can see, if I can shine the light, that steering gaiter is actually just completely, it's pretty dark, but yeah, it's just completely disintegrated and just split directly in half. So what I'm going to have to do is take off the trap rod end and just cut the clips. Hopefully it slides off quite easy. It's going to be quite tight to get up inside this arch here, but it's definitely doable, so I'm going to crack on with that now. So I've dropped the trap rod end from the hub, All it is just a 17mm bolt that goes onto there, and you just give it a tap and it should just pop down nice and easy. There's a little groove on the trap rod. You want to just plop a 15mm spanner on there, and then you just want to turn this little nut here. So when you take this off, obviously it will adjust the tracking. So I'm hoping that the dirt lines that are left behind doesn't actually affect the tracking. So I've just popped off the first part of the gaiter. Just inside there's a little metal clip holding it onto the back end. What you want to do is just, with a flathead screwdriver, just pop the clip and the rest of it should just pull off. So that's the reason why it's failed as MOT. I bought this, it's a universal one, and I'm looking at it now thinking it's not going to fit unless I make these holes here bigger. So I'll give it a go. They're only a tenner for two anyway, so I've got a spare one if it goes wrong. So I've just given it a little trim down to pretty much replicate kind of this one here. It's not too far off, so hopefully it should just be a case of slide it on, and it comes with 2 cable ties each end, and yeah, that should be it, and then just put everything back together. So that's the new gaiter on the steering rack. I'm just going to pop the wheel back on, and I'll get that sensor done. But one of the parts that I've had delivered today is it's actually a cover for the coolant bottle. So now I can go ahead, tidy up all the engine bay, all the engine cover, the battery cover, and just make it look brand new again. I've made a bit of a mess, so I'll clean this up and get that sensor fitted. So to remove the headlight position sensor, as you can see, this one, it's got some really old cable ties on. It's just been bulged up, I think, years ago. It's just it's a little clamp bracket there, which is just 2 10mm. And then up here on the underside, there's just 2 5mm Allen keys, I think, by feel. As you can see, the sensor's just completely gone, full up with loads of grime. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and swap that over, and hopefully it should be all good. So as you can see, it is completely snapped clean. So this isn't a brand new one that I bought. I actually bought it second hand. There's quite a waiting list at my local Audi for the part, and I thought I may as well get a genuine one, so I got this off a local breaker. I think it was 55 quid, whereas Audi charged 140 quid plus VAT. So that's another saving there. And yeah, time to get this one fitted, and I'll probably tidy up all the engine bay, put the strut brace back on, and yeah, as you can see, I'm absolutely filthy from doing this. So I'm back outside the garage, time to get the TT MOT'd, and hopefully is a straight pass with no advisories. So I'll check back in a second. So So the Audi TT has finally passed its MOT and is all clear from advisories, so it's good to go for 12 months. I'm just going to go ahead, get all 3 engine covers on, get the strut brace nicely secure, and just give the engine bay just a quick wipe over, give everything a clean down, and yeah, that should be everything on the engine bay then. I would go a bit deeper with giving everything a good scrub, but I'll save that for a later day. So I've just went ahead, fitted all 3 covers and the strut brace. What I actually had to do is, because the original screws were missing when I actually received the car and this cover, I just went ahead, got some old roofing bolts that fit the thread, and I just painted them black just so it blends in. I think I only had 1 original screw and it was completely knackered, so I'm just going to go ahead, give it a clean, and that should be the engine bay all finished. But it does look much better now, it's all original and put back together. So that's the engine bay all clean and tidy. I've given under the bonnet just a quick wipe over, and that's nice and clean now. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's ready just for a bit of quick detailer over the car. I'll give it one final hoover. But if you've been following along with this car, you know how much of a difference has actually happened. Still yet to sort that little ding out, but I might just leave that because that's going to be quite an expensive job for just a little issue. But as you can see, I am well happy with how this has come out. There's a couple of little things that I've not finished yet. So the lid that covers this, I just got to find a way of clipping that back on. It might be broken, I'm not sure, but I'll have a little play with it in a second. And also, when you turn the ignition on, I know there's a common fault with these clocks. They have a lot of problems. Need some fuel, but normally the lower screen goes, but this one is actually perfectly intact. But it's just the temperature gauge and the fuel gauge. As you can see, I've got the fuel light on saying I've only got 25 miles in the tank, but according to that I've got 3/4 of a tank. So yeah, I might need to send them off to get repaired, or just leave it how it is because it tells you the mileage there. So yeah, I'm more than happy with that for now. But yeah, the car is now gleaming. So if you've liked the video today, it'd be great if you could like and subscribe. That'd be fantastic. Like I said, I'm just a small channel, just trying to start something off. I've got something in the pipeline for a next project, which is going to be a bit different to the TT in terms of how the car is. So hopefully it goes well.